Hi, this is Christa at the Secret Yarnery. Welcome to Crochet Podcast, episode 80. Thanks so much for inviting me over. If you are new to this channel, my name is Christa and that is my Secret Yarnery. This channel is all about crochet and crochet related goodness. We're doing a crochet along this year, the Secret Stitches Cal 2021. Plus there is a ton of tutorials on the channel for blankets, borders, squares, bags, some really easy to make sweaters, all sorts of stuff. If any of that is of interest to you, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and the notification bell beside that so you don't miss out on any more awesome videos just like this. It'll be awesome, I'm just telling you. So finished objects. I'm like, should I put an S on that? It really feels like I shouldn't. I've been working on a really big whip. But yes, boom, right there. A zigzag hexy yoga ball cover. So this is a small one. That's big, that's small. I can take you over there to show you those ones. Plus, did I already show you my polka dot one? I think I did. Anyway, the polka dot one is also finished, which I love. I'm gonna call it the paint box polka dot blanket, but it's also like a wrap. I love it as a wrap. Do you want me to show you that too? I totally can. Okay, so let's go on a little safari. So here is yoga ball number 2. So that is the small size. That is a 60 centimeter, and I don't know what that is in inches, but 60 centimeter. And then this is the 75 centimeter. So is that 55 centimeter? Well, that's the small one. This zigzag hexie is the small one. And it is, I made it with a smaller hook, and these zigzag hexies are smaller in size than the African flowers, but really cool. It also has a hatch. Where is the hatch? I use a different color. Here it is. That is my hatch. So how I do it to get the ball, there's a tutorial on my channel, but I basically attach it on one side and then single crochet it on the other 5 sides so I can just unpick it and access my yoga ball. You can see the plug right in there. So that is finished. Really cool. This, of course, is the one I already did with a tutorial for this one. So that is the exact same, but with zigzag hexies and a smaller hook. And this is the paint box wrap, which I adore. I took the white off the border. Woo. I took the white off. Let me see where I can show you. How's that? Right. So it is less flashy now, I suppose. So let me pop it on for you. I still have to sew in my ends. I still have to film finishing the border. That tells you how far away I am, but check that out. Isn't that like so cute? Plus, of course, it's a blanket for watching TV. It is perfectly great. Can you see that border? It is perfectly great for laying down on the, like on your bed. It covers your toes and all the way up. You just can't totally, you know, sleep sideways in it. But it is enough to watch TV, super comfy. Finished object minus, I have to film it, right? So I have to unpick one side and just show the joining of it. No problem. So I'm into that. Also sporting my 2-hour slippers, which I'm gonna make a new pair. I like to make a new pair of slippers they're dirty, I wear them outside. They're actually my winter shoes. I wear them on the driveway. I know, I just showed that to you, isn't that terrible? There you go. That's what it looks like without a big old foot in it. These are 2-hour slippers. Really, they're about a 1-hour slipper. Maybe they're 40 minutes per slipper. To be completely done with the flower and everything, they're really, really fast. There's already a tutorial for that on my channel. And that's my favorite pattern for slippers. Like I have no interest in making a different pattern because it's just so easy, so quick, and it's the perfect slipper for any foot. Totally customizable. Am I huffing and puffing? Was that me exercising? I really think so. So those are my finished objects. Oh, no, I have one more. Wait for it. Boom. I know, right? This is the Sunday Granny Square for the Secret Stitches Cal 2021. This is block number 6. We are half done. And do you want to see what half done looks like? I know you do. I'm so excited. It's beautiful. Let me line it up. I don't want you to miss any of the colors. Ba, ba, ba. Secret Stitches Cal 2021. Block number 1. Oh, maybe I should do it the other way. There we go. So we're in the light. Block number 1, Berry Biscuit. Block number 2, Pin Curl Granny. Block number 3, going sideways, the Candy Cradle. Block number 4, Diamond Trellis. Block number 5, Tipsy Granny. Block number 6, Sunday Granny. So yes, this tutorial is coming out. It is filmed and ready to go. I just wanted to talk to you about it first. Is that not so cute? Love the pattern so much. This is the blanket I made. Just waiting to get inspiration for the border. I have the Tipsy and this one to do, also the Drunken border to do, Drunken Granny. And all of these are super easy 1-row repeats. So it's the same as pretty much as doing double crochet, except it looks like you really know how to crochet, and it is just a 1-row repeat. Like, so easy to do. And a really nice straight edge, no matter what. Start and stop each row the same way. Love it. Like, really, 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 really love that stitch. And this is what it looks like in a neutral. Also really pretty, right? So I'm doing a neutral blanket, so all the stitches in this camel color, and I'm using Savor. Although this I use Savor 100 just because the color was nicer. You can see my yellow selection here, so this is my Savor and Savor 100 row. And Savor is this lighter yellow in here. And the bright yellow is Savor 100. So I wanted to use the bright yellow to go with my bright, to go with my colors. So I use Savor 100. But the rest I'm using Savor. Oh, except this is Kenyan acrylic, is they don't have this color in either yet, but they will. I know they will. So that is finished, and I'm excited about it. Next one is gonna be in green. Love it. So just easing straight through the rainbow. So we've done the warm colors for the first half of the year, and the cool colors will be for the second half. I'm excited. I guess I can't put that right on top of the next thing I'm going to show you. I could try. Okay, let me put this along the back in case you can see it. Oh, you can see it. You can see all my mess down there. All right, and here's all my squares. So cute. There we are. Okay, excited about all of that. Now, next. This is the beginning of the best thing ever that I love. Too much, so much, and too much. Ba, ba, ba. Are you in love with it? You can say no. If you're not into it, you can totally tell me no. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just going to think you're crazy. Just joking, not really. Joking, not joking. I love it so much. I love all the colors. I think everything is great. I love the join. I love everything about it. There's not one thing in here that I'm like, like I love everything. So yes, there will be a tutorial for this coming up when I have it much more close to being finished. It took me a long time to get this far. And the other thing, well, let me show you all the bits I was going through. Okay, first join is if you just turn the circles into squares, and I wanted to do like the granny square join, like joining every third stitch all the way along. I didn't want to do another solid join, like, oh, it's not up, but like, you know how I do for my polka dots, usually the gray one that's on my sofa. Oh, and if you're looking at this one, this is the gingham C to C, which is actually like an excellent representation of actual gingham fabric, not pretend crochet gingham. It's literally the same colors woven through, like it's great. So that is already a tutorial on the channel, and it is fabulous. C2C gingham crochet blanket. Now, I get a lot of questions about that. Now, so this was the first join I did in the granny square style. So you can see it's every, well maybe can you see? I joined every third stitch. I like the join. Now I'm not totally crazy about it, because if you lay it flat, it's kind of like that. See how it's kind of dishy? It's kind of dishy. It's not, it doesn't lay super flat. See? Can you see them little cups sticking out? That little princess warrior thing going on. Not totally into it, which means in here, not enough stitches. I don't want to do treble crochets and stuff, or did I do trebles? I did do trebles. I don't like doing trebles. I don't like the join being like so many big holes in there. Like if you're gonna do a lacy join, you do a lacy join. Oh, there you go, now you can see it. But I'm not thinking that that's so great looking. Nor do I think it needs more, like, it technically needs another stitch in there. But then the count goes off and it gets confusing. It's not like 3, 3, 3. It's like 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4. Like, who wants a pattern like that? I will forget about, like, I'll forget and mess up. And especially with join as you go, then you have to like undo so much work to get back to where you made your mistake. So I'm like, ugh. Wasn't happy with that. So, but I did try it, the same style, but with that extra stitch. So, these are 3, 3, 3, and then for the corners I did 4 and then chain 2 and 4. So there is the extra stitch. It does lay flatter, more flat, and it does look neater. I think it looks neater in the center there. But it's a pattern where you're like 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and then there's 8 stitches into this one spot. So these spots, another thing I didn't like, hold on. Boom, 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 and boom. Can I get my fingers in there? You see these spots here? They're huge compared to all the rest. See what I mean? So I wouldn't like that either, because that doesn't look like how I want it to look. It looks like you gave it a good try and like, you know, you're done with it. So I didn't like that. So that was version 2. Then I was like, what if I did it as octagons with the little one in the center? So it would be like that, right? Really cute. And then for the edges, I would just have to make it square. I would just have to do like these little half circles. So when I got up to this part, I would just do these little half circles. And it would be totally straight, like a nice square, like a square blanket. And I'm like, that's cool. But then when I got joining it, see it still looks good. I don't mind it like now. But then when I was joining it, how I liked it looking better is this way. So that it's not like rows. Well, the big rows that are on a diagonal, so you don't really notice them as much, or I don't notice them as much. And I just think it looks kind of cooler myself. But then the problem is getting these areas to be square again. Do you know what I mean? You got to fill it in with like that much. See what I mean? You got to like do this much and pop that into these areas here. Are you following me? I know it might be a bit confusing. So I did a bunch. This is the first one I did to fill it in. I mean, I can't say that that is going to add much to a blanket. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh. And I'm like, okay, it's too big. Then I did, oh no, was this the one I don't know. I did this one. Maybe that's the one I did first. Anyway, I did a whole bunch of them trying to figure out the right way of doing it. And then I'm like, those are all too big. So I started going smaller. And I even did the half circle one. And then I was like, if I'm doing half circles, I might as well do like slices of octagons and I didn't like any of them. I'll show you what one looks like. Barfy. Okay, hold on. It's not terrible. Looking at it now, it's not terrible. When I was working on it, I'm like, I will throw up in my mouth. Okay, here. Can you see that? It's terrible, right? Okay, so it's not as bad as it was when I was working on it. It's not as terrible. But I don't want it that, I don't like it. So then I was like, what if we just did like, we granny squared it in? Like after that join, we just granny square it, and then after that we can kind of put a total border on it because it'll have the same spaces like the granny square spaces, which are along the octagons, right? So that would match all the way along. Fills it in. I'm like, that's actually really cute, right? And it doesn't take away from the blanket. Like, you know, like what is that? Like a slice of pizza that fell out of the microwave and got stepped on by the dog? Like, it's not good. None of this is good. So I was like, yeah, it should be like that. But I'm like, maybe not granny stitches. Maybe I should do it solid crochet. So I did one with solid crochet. And, blah, I don't like this one at all. I can get that out of the way. I don't like that one. I think this one here, that one's a lot nicer. So that is what I'm going to do for the edge to make it nice and square so that I can keep it in the orientation that I like and not have any weird stepped on pizza melted, you know, slices along the edge. It'll just be like circles and it'll be all like making sense. Do you know what I mean? So super excited about that. Decided how big I wanted to make it. So how I decide how big I want to make my blankets, I join them together and then I measure it literally with a measuring tape, like a proper measuring tape. Measure it from one side to the other side and count how many circles I need for that. This one here, I'm going to need 6 big circles across and 6 small circles across. So this will be half as wide as I want it to be, basically. It has to be double this. And then taller also. To like double again plus a half, so 1.5 times taller. So it'll be queen size. Did the math, got all my circles done. Oh, they're upstairs. And I'll show you a picture of it. So got them all sorted out, and then it was just so much ends to sew in. It was very disheartening. You just look at that basket of ends and you're like, oh, like I don't want to do it. So what I decided to do, we did it together on Friday's live chat, is I divided it all up into whip baskets. I put about 12 small ones or 6 big ones in a basket, a pair of scissors and a needle, and then you just grab a basket, do 6 circles, and that basket's finished. So it really helped me get over, like, you can totally see the finish line. If you're like, I'm just gonna do one basket, like I'm gonna do 6 right now, and you're not looking at the whole big thing, that helped me a lot. So if I'm gonna be working on a big project like this again, I'm gonna do that straight away. I'm gonna, like, after I did that for the circles, for the centers, and I made sure I didn't count how many there was, just so it doesn't get in your head that you have to do like 166 or whatever it is. Divide it all up, and the next time I do that, I'm gonna do, when I have to do my ends, I'm not gonna put them all in a big pile and be like, there's your ends. I'm gonna keep them separate and be like, here's, you know, keep in the same sections that I did for making them, because it's a lot of ends. So that's really helped me, and I only have, I think, 2 more baskets, like 12 circles left to do, and then I can start joining this. Joining is my favorite. I do have to sew in ends from joining. Where can I show you? Oh, I have some here where I have to sew in more than that. Tisk. But generally, just the 2 ends from joining that one motif. And I'm not going to tell myself that's another 166 pairs of ends, but love joining it because you get to be like, you get so much distance and so much great crochet from a little bit of joining. So love that. Get to work on that when I'm done my ends. Is that a whip and a half or what? Totally. Oh, and I forgot to show you the pictures of the color inspiration, which is why it's called Frankly Circles. It's from a movie called Being Frank, which I'm not necessarily recommending to watch. It was not like a stellar movie or anything, but it was something to have on. Like, it was noise in the background. Yes, I fell asleep twice, but it was noise in the background while I was crocheting. So if you're watching that movie, it's around 46 minutes in. They have a conversation, these two kids inside cottage or a cabin, and there's one crochet blanket that you can see straight, and it's just V-stitch in beige, and then there's one crochet blanket that you can never see in the whole movie, because I watched it again just to see this blanket, and it has the most amazing colors. It's not the same pattern, but it made me come down to the yarnery and pull those colors out of my yarnscape the best as I could from what I had, and then I went up to start playing around with what I was going to do with it. I thought maybe granny squares, maybe something like flowers, something. Anyway, it turned out to be my circles. So Frankly Circles is this blanket that I'm working on, and that's where the color inspiration came from. So that's about all that I have going on in the yarnery this week. Tutorials coming out for this square, and this blanket, without the border. The border is coming up in a separate video in the future when it hits me. I like to do my borders in cold weather, so it's like you have the whole blanket on you and you could just be like working on a border, and it's like so nice in cold weather. And we are heading into our cold weather, so that is that's my border weather. I love it. So hopefully something's gonna hit me. I know what colors I want to use, I just don't know. It hasn't hit me what I actually want to do with it. So if you have any questions for me, go ahead and ask me in the comments down below. I would love to answer them in an upcoming podcast or a Friday's live chat, whichever tickles your fancy. I'll also be answering some most common questions, or questions I get a lot, in my newsletter, which I am starting out. There's a new series coming out. It's from my website. So if you pop over to secretyarnery.com and subscribe to the newsletter, I'll be sending out a newsletter about once a week, just with answering some questions and crochet news and goodness, the occasional discount. So that is like little coupon codes. So that is something to keep an eye out. And if you're interested in that, pop over to secretyarnery.com and sign up. Other news of the week, husband's birthday is coming up, so busy trying to plan little things we can do to help make his day super special in our compound, and the kids are really excited about that. And then it's Mir's birthday, my 14-year-old turning 15, and then birthdays start again in September. So I'm heading into the birthday season, and then the holiday season, and the border season. So lots of things going on in the yarnery, and super excited about that. Have some tortoise eggs from a hingeback tortoise. We have 4 eggs in an incubator. Hoping to get a video about that coming up on my son's channel, Trip Check Life, link to that down below as well. And that's all I have for you this week. So thanks so much for inviting me over and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell beside that. And we'll see you in the next video. Stay hooked. Way off to the side, aren't I? Good gosh. Is that better? Is that where I normally am? I don't even know. Oh, what a day, I tell you. Find it, find the zen, find the zen. Okay, find the crochet, I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. Number 80, I wrote it down. I have notes right there. I don't have notes, I made a whole book. So now all my notes are in one spot. Get it? So I really should not have excuses anymore, I'm just saying. All right, lipstick, tissue. Tell ya, cold weather. Cold weather, how funny. Okay, hold on. 22, see, bottom, it's bottom of my barrel. Okay, hold on, here we go. Once I get my microphone tucked in. Tuck it in, oops, cold. That is a cold microphone, I'm just telling you. Okay. A smudge lumpier than normal. I did that all at once. I didn't even hit pause or anything. I just have to edit it together and like take out the parts of me like, you know, blowing my nose, taking hair out of my eye. Love it. So excited about the pattern. So excited. Have any questions, go ahead and ask me down below because I'm all about answering them. So have a super great day. Stay hooked.